Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Saturday the 12th, and today was a lovely day outside. Hot, oh my lord, it's getting hot down here. It's one of those things where luckily we're still early enough in the year that are waking up to a little bit of cool, and the evenings are cooling off a little bit, so it's not pure misery 24/7, because there will come a time in August that you step out of the house at 5 in the morning and it still sucks. So luckily we're not there yet, but it definitely got warm today. So got this morning, had to deal with the dogs and stuff, all the fun that comes with it. The puppy is not known for sleeping in. Luckily, I didn't have to get up quite as early because of the fact that normally I have to get up like 5:15 in the morning to get ready for him to get here and basically try and keep him quiet until Karen gets up. But he was spending the night with us since Wednesday, so definitely super easy there, so it works out real well. So went ahead and got that taken care of, ended up hanging around a little bit, played the dogs aside. I had to walk Sully out front because Sully's just not a dog-friendly dog. We tried to put Sully out like in a separate room, kind of gate him off, and then he was all crappy and stuff. So instead, because Cosmo, Bruce, and Van get along so good, I left them out and they had to run to the house, and I put Sully in the bedroom with me and kept them separated that way, so I didn't have to get woke up in the middle of the night with them trying to have some kind of fight or some crap or whatever type of shit going on. So yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt. The owner of Sully's talking, she's going to look into getting him some obedience and aggression training and whatnot, and I think if that happens, I think the dog would be a whole different dog. Because the dog, there's something going on there that I just don't have the time to fix. Partly the problem is the fact that he doesn't act that way around Bruce, and I can't risk him injuring somebody else's dog to work on the behavior that way, because he doesn't do it to Bruce. So it's one of those things where how do I help fix a problem if he won't do it around my own dog, and I can't risk your dog or somebody else's dog to help fix your dog. So it is what it is there. But we got around, got a few things done this morning, had the dogs, spent time with the dogs, went ahead and put Sully back in the back room where he's chilling at, he's up on top of the bed or hiding in the bed, depending on the storms and stuff, whatever. He's been hanging out there. Karen and I jumped on the motorcycle and run around town looking for garage sales and all the fun that comes with it. Didn't find anything that we couldn't really live without, but ended up buying one little, I guess like a candle voted, like a big, beautiful greenish blue vase that you drop a candle down inside of, kind of thing. So I'm gonna maybe even looking at maybe putting like some of the like a little refillable oil lantern thing in it, like the mosquito type, stuff we use outside, hang it up on the trees, whatever. And I'll probably drill a hole in it so it don't feel full of rain, but we can get that figured out and go from there. But yeah, it was kind of just, we had a good time out, like I said, running around, having ourselves fun time. Yard selling is mostly nothing more than just an excuse to get out of the house and look at other people's trash, because it just is what it is. So talking to one of the guys though at a yard sale, they happened to the other gentleman that was there talking to him, talking to the guy having the yard sale, asking him, hey, are you moving and stuff? He goes, yeah, clearly I'm moving. And he said, is this house for sale? And he goes, nope, I'm just a renter here. And he goes, but if you're looking to buy a house, the house across the street's for sale. And I looked at Karen, I was like, really? Let's go to the street, it's a nice house. So I looked at the guy and I basically waited for them to kind of wrap up. And I'm saying, excuse me, which house do I want across the street? The brick house or the tan house next to it? And he points right at the brick house and goes, the tan house. And I said, okay. He goes, that's such and such and such. And I'm like, okay. Do you mean the brick house almost straight across the road and like little bit to the north, like the way the property lines aren't directly across? The first house straight across the road with all the brick on it, or you're talking about the tan house next to it with all the solar on it? And he's like, yeah, the tan house, and points again at the brick house. And I said, okay, this first house right here's number is 20. That one up there is numbered 16. Which house? He goes, well, I can't see the numbers from here. I'm like, okay, we're looking straight here. As you move your hand across the point, because this tan house right here. I said, okay, that's a brick house. They are tannish colored bricks, but they're red and tan. And the house there is painted tan. He goes, no, the one's not painted. And I said, okay. So I'm not going to knock on some stranger's door and say, hey, that guy across the street says your house for sale if it ain't the right house. So one day I found it is the right house, and I was like, okay, maybe it's still a little on the early side. He goes, nope, because he's up. I've been watching him. He's moving stuff in and out. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we walk over, knock on the guy's door. Come to the door, kind of told him, hey, the guy across the street said your house for sale, yada yada. We did the whole little small talk and stuff, and kind of asked him. He goes, oh, just come in and look at the house, no big deal. So we come in, he's in the process of moving. He actually, I guess, inherited the house across the street. Sounds like he might have actually inherited this house too. So I'm not really sure what this dude does, like how he gets people to give him free houses and shit. But it sounded like he inherited this house a few years ago and then befriended the people across the street, and they then gifted him that house, which is ironic as I'll get up. As we pulled up, I had actually told my wife, so I pulled in the thing, I said, hey, see that house across the street right there? that's a house I'd love to have because it's got a nice 2-car garage, got a nice shop built out there. There's just a lot of nice things about it. And I said, it's a shame that one's not for sale, kind of stuff. But it's one of the ones that I thought about going and knocking on the door. I'm like, hey, do you want to sell your house? And the guy's like, he goes, come on in, look at my place stuff. So we got talking and stuff, walking the house, looking at the place. And he said he's moving across the street. And I said, yeah, that's what your neighbor said. You got this house across the street. And I said, would you be interested in selling it instead? Because I'd much rather have it, even though I don't have a pool, which I don't really want a pool. My wife seems to, but I want the shop way more than she wants a pool. So, and he goes, oh no, I've already got almost all my stuff moved and stuff, blah, blah. And I kind of joked and I said, I'd be happy to hire and or do it myself and move all your shit back across the street if you want to sell me that house instead. He goes, no, I want to be in that house. And I said, okay. So we went around, looked at the house a little bit and stuff. He had his little dog in the corner, just laying on a chair, didn't even look up. Barely was awake. It was just made me laugh. So we kind of joked and laughed and stuff. Has a nice pool. The pool does need complete resurfacing. He said he has a quote of $5,000 to do it. And with the purchase price that he has right now, he's willing to give $5,000 back at closing to cover the cost of the pool resurfacing. So you basically roll it into your mortgage, and you don't even feel the $5,000 go up because you don't even notice. I said until you look at it, depends on the interest you pay. You now pay $10,000 or $14,000 in interest, and that whole by the time it's all done, this $5,000 repaint cost you a lot damn more money. So gonna go home. It's not perfect by any means, but it's nice. It's a nice house. I'm gonna give it some thought. We're gonna talk about it, and then probably go back over and look at it again, see if I can crunch some numbers and see if I can't get it bought for a little bit less than he's asking. Because I think he's asking above what probably. It's hard to tell. The market's fucked up right now. The market is such a mess at the time. So he's asking more than I'm willing to give for it. But by the time I back out, if we do it off market, don't pay real estate agent fees, don't pay that kind of junk. I think it's going to put us right where I'd want to be at. So there's a good possibility we might be able to actually make this deal happen, but I need to give it a little bit of thought, need to look it over. Unfortunately, online, there's no photos, no nothing inside of it, no nothing. So I got to kind of just go off, the little bit of memory I have as I walk through, and it's a lot harder than if I'd actually, videotaped it or photographed it myself kind of thing. So, but we got down there, hit a couple more garage sales. Again, nothing worth anything, really. Headed back to the house, hung out there, of course, played with the dogs and yada yada, all kind of fun stuff with the whole thing. Headed out to go feed the cats, got that taken care of and stuff. Actually, I was gonna go feed the cats, but Karen's like, well, I'm gonna go to my dad's and stuff also and whatnot. It's okay, that's fine, no big deal. We kind of killed those two birds, one stone. And then, so she called her dad to make sure he was home, so he knew she was coming up this morning, sometime to take grocery shopping and get his pills right and all that kind of fun stuff. So we headed up there, went to Heather. She calls him and he's like, oh no, I'm out right now riding around with a buddy of mine. So they were going for breakfast. We're on holiday, Hill and Paul, so they were out. So I was like, okay. She goes, call me when you're back and then we'll go from there, whatever, and I'll make a time to come up. So I said, well, in case he's about done, whatever, I'll hang out here. That way we're both gone at the same time. We're not missing each other. When if I go feed the cats, which cats is no set time on it. So we laid down on the couch, got just kind of cuddling. I turned the AC down real low, let it run the whole time we're napping here. She watched a movie. I kind of dozed in and out a little bit. We watched a movie together kind of thing, but it was that, hard for me to stay awake kind of scenario. It was one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I'm barely awake in this process. So it is what it is. Worked out real well, and the whole thing went fine. Was not a big deal at all. But basically got up from the nap. We ended up having pizza, I guess, for our lunch, some leftover pizza, which she had bought Friday on our way home from work. She ordered that, hey, why don't you order that for us, pick it up, bring it back. And she only got a large. And so the Sicilian, which is like $8 more, but it's bigger. The Sicilian is a big square pizza. You don't miss all those parts of the round pizza. And she says, oh, I got the large. I'm like, not the Sicilian? I'm like, come on. I'm like, what am I, poor? Like, I have the biggest pizza money. Like, we can, whatever pizza place we eat at, whatever their biggest pizza is, we can afford to buy that biggest pizza. Always buy the biggest pizza. And I've told her that. We've had that talk a couple times now. Always buy the biggest pizza. Biggest pizza always. We're 100% big pizza people, So I felt like a bum. Felt like I'm poor. Felt like I have no money. Just all the fun that comes with that stuff. So went ahead though. Got down there. Her dad finally did call and said he was, ready for her to come up. So she headed up there. I headed out to feed the cats. Took care of all that fun stuff. I got back, of course, way before she did. Ended up letting the dogs out, of course, playing with the dogs and roughhousing them and having a good time and whatnot. Ended up doing some yard work here and there. Ended up hanging a couple more orchids up in the trees and stuff, trying to find shady spots, which I do not have much of since I lost my pine trees. But was able to get a few things up in there and whatnot. Just had the fun. Climbing up down a ladder with dogs running underneath me. And the little pug has to be right directly underneath me 24/7. Like, he's just underneath my feet at all times. And even on the ladder, I'm like, dude, if I fall, I'm going to kill you. Like, you need to not be underneath my ladder. But he don't understand that. He's like, hey, you're cool. I'm going to be right below you. So we had a good time. I got him up there. Luckily, did not fall any dogs or nothing. Karen finally did get back home, which worked out great. We hung around, we chatted a little bit and stuff. I was actually outside still. Came out, hung out with me and whatnot. End up going for a run, got my shower, got all the fun that comes with it, got that all taken care of and wrapped up, and then it was getting that weird time frame, so I went out for a run. I was out for over an hour. I was gone, and she actually texted me. She goes, "You all right?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." It was funny because as she texted me if I'm all right, I was unlocking the door and I put my hand and said, "Yep, I'm all right." And so I went and put the keys back up and stuff. I had a good laugh with that. But by the time I got my shower and stuff, I was like, I really wasn't hungry. We had pizza late, and it was all kind of it was what it was. So I ended up outside, had myself a nice cigar. She hung around the dogs and stuff, played, and put the little splashy lights on so we could see them in the dark kind of thing. But it was getting that weird time. I said, "Are we eating anything?" She goes, "No, I don't think so." So we just skipped dinner because we had a late lunch with the pizza, which is all great and hunky-dory. And then from there, I ended up finally heading in, and I just felt weak. Like I was like, I have no food. I need to eat food. So I basically was putting stuff away, putting the dogs away, taking Sully back out because Sully can't be with other dogs and the whole thing there. Went ahead and basically said, "Hey, can you make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?" Like, I think I want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So she made me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Ended up playing a little bit of pinball before I went to bed. Headed in, ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, watched a little bit of TV in the bedroom, and crashed out and called it a night. So that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.